Hey everyone, it's Lily with Cherry Tree Beads, and today I'm going to be doing a walkthrough with our kid kits, our elastic bracelet kits that we made. I'm going to show you how to make this purple version here. These are the completed bracelets. We've got 5 versions in total. Some are going to be plain, some you'll have charms to attach with a jump ring, so I'll explain how to open and close those jump rings, and then some, like this safari one, just have some fun animal beads that you can slide on there. All right, so first I'm going to teach you how to do the jump rings, and if you've got them laying around, needle nose pliers are going to be your friend. If you don't, you can just use your fingers and it's going to work just as well. I'll show you how to use the needle nose pliers first. You're going to open up that jump ring. You'll see there's already a slit in there, so you'll grab your needle nose on the one side of it, and you can take your fingers with the other and just push that guy open. See if you can see it any better there. So he's open enough to go on the charm. You'll slide it on there, and then you're going to want to work the jump ring back and forth. That's going to help to really close them up good. When I say work it back and forth, that means pinch with the pliers on your finger and push it open again on the opposite side, back over the middle, and then pinch it together. That's going to make sure that your jump ring is really closed so that your elastic doesn't just fall through the opening there. Now I'm going to show you one more way to do it with your fingers. And you can grab your jump ring, and you're just going to pinch with your pointer and your thumb on both sides. Grab on either end of that open bit. You can put your charm on there. It's a little bit more difficult to work it back and forth with your fingers, but it just takes some time. And you're gonna push it back and forth here and really make sure he's closed. So I'm gonna grab my needle nose. He's already overlapping on there, so it's a little bit trickier. Working back and forth, and then pinch him shut. So I'm gonna just go ahead and do my other 3 charms here really quick. All right, so now that those are all have a jump ring attached to them, they're gonna hang on the bracelet a lot easier. So our sea glass version over here, these are kind of beachy themed beads. They'll have jump rings in them. This one over here is like a gardeny themed, and they will have jump rings in it. The purple version that I'm showing you obviously has these jump rings in it. And then this safari one has 2 charms that you'll need to use the jump ring, but the rest just slide on those bracelets. So next I am going to show you how to stretch out your elastic. So each kit comes with a long piece of elastic. It's going to be enough for 3 bracelets for you. So I'll show you how to size that and tie the knots on there. First, what I'm doing is stretching out my elastic good. It's going to give it a little bit better of a knot on the end. Just preparing this elastic. The knots are going to hold better. It's going to have a good stretch there. All right, so then on the very end, you can create a knot, just like you would tie a knot in a piece of string. And that's going to stop your beads from popping off the end on you. So I've got a knot there. And first, I'm going to do my bracelet with a tassel. And so I need to grab my scissors. And you're going to cut open your string of beads here. And if your beads are rolling around on you, you can grab a kitchen towel or a washcloth and spread your beads out, and it'll help them from rolling around. So you don't want to cut your elastic just yet. You're going to use this really big piece to begin with, and you're going to string your beads on in a pattern. So I've put about 9 of these dark purple beads, and I want to put a little bit of these light purple. These are glass beads. They're kind of dusty, like sea glass looks. There are sea glass style beads. So I am going to put 1 of those on here. And then I'm going to slide my tassel on. And put 1 more of the sea glass bead on the other end. So we have completed all of these kits and they all have a design, but you are free to make it as creative as you want and make your own pattern. You don't have to do what I'm doing in the video or what we've already done on the bracelets. You have 3 strands of beads, so you can mix and match them just however you want. And I'm gonna finish stringing on these dark purple beads. So that's just about done. Now I'm gonna teach you how to size it onto your wrist. You wanna do this after you've put the beads on so you know that it's gonna fit you. Sometimes the beads will take up more space than you think and the elastic wouldn't fit if you cut it beforehand. So you can take your bracelet and hold it on this end that has a long bit of elastic. Hold it over your wrist. Grab hold of the other end and see where the beads meet up. If it's too big, that one I might just want to take off 1 bead. If it's too small, you can add some beads or you can take them off. You want it to be big enough that it goes over your wrist without stretching out too much, but not so big that it would fall off of your wrist. So I'm going to take off 1 bead and check the sizing again. That's going to be much better for my wrist. So then I'm going to show you how to tie a knot on here. Slide your beads more towards the middle so you have plenty of room on this side. Not too much room. You want to save some elastic for your other bracelets. If you go too far on the end, you won't have enough. So take this end with the knot and put it behind the bigger piece. Make a crisscross. Then you're going to fold the knot around, just like you're tying your shoes. And then you'll take your long end and fold him in front. Making another crisscross, again with the long end in the front, so the knot's in the back this time. And then you're going to put him through the loop and pull really tight. When you pull, you don't want to yank the elastic. It might cause the elastic to snap. So you're going to give it a pretty good tug. And you can do another knot for good measure. And then you're going to want to cut off the tail end. Now don't cut really high up. You don't want a bunch of elastic. So you're just going to cut close to the bracelet. Not too close that it would slip through the knot, but close enough. And there is 1 bracelet. Now I'm going to show you how to do the other 2 bracelets. It's going to go through pretty fast, but I'll stop every time that I tie the knot just to show you one more time. We'll start off by tying the knot on the end of this elastic so our beads don't fall off. On this next bracelet I'm going to make, I will attach all of my charms. You'll put this charms on any of the bracelets that you want. You can put them all on one. You can spread them out into all 3 bracelets. It's really up to you. I'm going to add some of these sparkly ones on either side of the charm as I make this one. Okay, so now that the bracelet is strung, I'm going to show you one more time how to size that on your wrist and tie the knot. So I'm going to hold it up to my wrist and see where those beads meet. If it's going to be too tight on my wrist, I can take away some beads, or I can add some beads, and if it'll be too big, I can take them away. And that looks like it's going to fit me just perfect. I'll take the end here. You want to give yourself plenty of room for your 3rd bracelet, so don't cut off too much. Take your knotted end, put it in the back and make a crisscross. It's probably a little hard to see. And fold him in the front. Pull that tight, then take your long piece and put him in front of the knotted end and pull him through the hole. Then you're going to pull that elastic, not too tight, you don't want to snap your elastic, but give it a pretty nice tug, and we'll do 1 more knot for good measure. And pull that tight. Then you want to cut off your tail ends. And that bracelet is done. With all of the little charms on it. Now I've got 2 done. I have my other bracelet. And we're gonna make one more. So I'm gonna go through that pretty quick and I'll show you how to tie the knot at the very end. So I have one more piece of elastic. I'm gonna tie my knot to start so my beads don't fall off the end. So I think that's gonna be enough beads. I'm just gonna hold it up to my wrist and make sure that it's fitting me. That's gonna be perfect. So I'll show you how to tie the knot one more time. And if you need help with this part, you can ask a grown-up to help you. Take your knotted end and put it in the back. Fold him over. Take your long piece, put him in the front, and stick that right through the opening here. And pull that knot pretty tight. Give it a couple of good tugs. And you can tie one more knot on there just to make sure he stays put. And then you can cut your tail end off. And there is my third bracelet. As you can see, this stack turned out a little bit different than the original one I had made. The really great thing about making jewelry is you get to be as creative as you want. I hope you have fun making your bracelet kit. Thanks for joining me.